everybody, it's Kelsee Briana J, and in today's video I am coming at you guys with a tag video, and this is the glow up in beauty tag. And I carefully curated this tag because I wanted to share my glow up in beauty. If you all don't know what a glow up is, it means when you start from the bottom and now you're here, and I think we all can relate on that aspect because we all started at a certain point in our beauty journey, and now we have evolved to become the makeup artists, the beauty influencers, and the beauty lovers that we are today. So I thought this tag would be really fun to do, but I carefully curated these questions to share our glow up in beauty, from product preferences that we used to like back in the day and maybe not so much now, to makeup techniques that we used to do and beauty trends that we used to follow back in the day that we would never do now. So I think this video will be very fun, and I invite anybody to join in and do it. But let's go ahead and jump to it, and I want to share with you guys the questions that I selected, and I thoroughly look forward to watching anybody's video who does this tag because I think it is going to be hilarious. The first question is, what is the worst beauty advice that I have ever gotten? I'm going to say that I can do an entire video based on this question alone because I have gotten some bad beauty advice throughout the years. Trust me. But I picked out some of the worst advice that I've gotten throughout the years, from makeup artists to family members to friends. And yeah, the first one is to use gold deposit highlighter as your bronzer. Yes, as bronzer. If you guys don't know what gold deposit is, it is the most goldeny, shimmery highlighter looking product that MAC makes. It is a mineralized skin finish. Granted, this was a long time ago and makeup back then just was totally different, but I always knew in the back of my head, like, why would I use that as a bronzer if it's so shimmery like that? It wasn't even something that I got the advice to do one time. It was just like a widespread, well-known thing to do, was to use gold deposit as a bronzer. And so you would be walking around with this glittery streak where you would typically put a bronzer. You know, some bronzers have shimmer in them and some bronzers don't, but gold deposit pretty much is a highlighter, and so putting it there, you'll walk around and just, you know, have a shimmer streak on your face, and it just did not work for a bronzer. So that was pretty bad advice. The next bad advice that I got was to use black eyeliner as lip liner, and you can go in light-handed with it and it'll define your lips. Yeah, that was the 90s for you. Next, set your entire face with a white translucent powder. For a long time, I thought it was just me as to why that was not working on my face. Like, why is it making my face look like this? Why do I look like Casper after I put this powder on my face? Is what I wondered all the time. And I thought I was doing it wrong, and I would try it with a different brush, and I would try it with a lighter pressure point, and I would try it with a little bit less powder. But the overall results every single time were the same. I looked like I just dipped my face in some baking powder and I just went about my merry way. That was never a good idea. Everybody cannot use white translucent powder, and some makeup artists still swear to this day that everybody can use white translucent powder. It's just in your technique. If you have melanated skin, putting something white on top of it, it just kind of is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. Everybody is different, and then we'll just have to agree to disagree. If you feel that white translucent powder looks good on everybody all over the face, but yeah, I'm not on that train. A few more, because I promise I can stay on this topic for a long time. Next, use Vaseline as your moisturizer. No comment. Pluck your eyebrows thinner because it'll make you look more awake and it will frame your face better. Thank God my eyebrows grew back because that was horrible advice. Some people can't rock the big brow look, and that's fine, but for me, I had no business ever having thin eyebrows. It just didn't work for my eye shape or my face shape. And the last piece of bad advice that I have gotten throughout the years is to use hair glue for eyelash glue. That is not safe for eyes. If you all don't know what hair glue is, it is some black glue. You can get it from the beauty supply store. And I repeat, is not eye glue. It is not safe for the eye area. Actually, I know somebody that has gone blind from getting an infection from getting the glue stuck behind her eyeball and had to have her eye removed. True story. And from there on out, I urge you, if you use that, to stop immediately. I know it holds a little bit more. It's not going to hold that much longer to justify the consequences if it gets in your eye. PSA. So the next question is the worst beauty advice that I have ever given. So, if you all don't know, I am a makeup artist and I did work at the MAC counter for 7 years back in the day. So, I've given out my fair share of bad advice, but the one thing that sticks out the most to me is to blend your entire face with a MAC 130 brush. And it didn't matter what foundation I was giving you. It didn't matter how much time you said you had. It doesn't matter your skin type. It doesn't matter anything. I'm going to give you the 130 brush to blend out your foundation. So here's the 130 brush. This brush is so small and it would take most people forever to blend out their foundation. But I was like, look, it's going to give you that airbrushed look. You just need to take your time and blend it out. Baby, you would be blending for 16 hours doing your foundation with this brush. Now, back in the day, this was like holy grail for me, and I could work your foundation out with this brush. And you guys know back in the day, beauty blender and beauty sponges and all that stuff was pretty much unheard of. So brushes were king, and this was my foundation brush. But when I discovered the 128 brush from MAC, it was all over from the 130. And if you guys have this brush, you know it's still a pretty small kabuki brush, but look at it in comparison to the 130 brush, how much bigger this is. Yeah, I'm sorry for anybody who I saw this brush to specifically for foundation, because it is a nice brush, but for foundation though, yeah. So the next question is, what beauty products did I struggle with the most / have the worst experience with? And that hands down has to go to the Burberry stick foundation. And when I was applying the foundation, it was almost hurting because it was so stiff on the skin, and I was like, well, maybe I need to warm it up a little bit. And so I did, and it went on my face one color, and then it oxidized and it kind of turned to my color, but then I'll go in a different light and it looks a little gray. And so I was like, is it me? So then I tried it again and it still gave me the same results, and I was like, nope, it's not me, it's the foundation. That's gonna have to go. So that was pretty much my worst experience that I have had with a product in general. Every other product that I have tried, it may not be for me, but it's few, far, and in between that I try a truly bad product, simply because I know by looking at a product whether or not I'm going to like it or not. And so oftentimes if I feel as if I'm not going to like it, or if it's just something that just doesn't rub me the right way about that product, I'll skip it and I just won't fool with it because I can see it. So I don't really have too many bad experiences with products, but that foundation, it deceived me because I thought it would be good, but then I put it on and it was just so bad. The next question is, what beauty products did I used to use a lot back in the day but would never use now? And that's a loaded question because I'm the type to really never say never about a lot of stuff. It's a few things that I'll go ahead and say never to, but for the most part, I'm not the type to say never because you never know how you're going to be in the future. But I will say that these beauty products that I have put on this list are strong contenders for me never putting back on my face. Starting with Saint Germain lipstick by MAC. I know this is very MAC heavy, but that's where my roots are. That's where I started out, and I know a lot of you guys have started out at MAC too. But Saint Germain lipstick, that bubblegum pink lipstick, I used to wear it so much back in the day that I can't even see myself reaching for that now because it's pretty much like pink white, you know, or white pink. Next, I used to use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. What in the creasy mess were we thinking? Because we used to use that as a collective, right? It was very popular. And if you were on the internet or in the beauty space anytime between the years 2009 to probably 2012, I'm sure you remember it, but I'm trying real hard to forget it because, yeah, no, it was not a good product. Everybody was like, yeah, I'm going to use my Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it too. But it's like, why though? The next question is, What makeup technique did you struggle with when you first started learning how to do makeup? And mine was most definitely an all black smoky eye. And I really struggled with that technique because I would try to put black too far up on the eye and it would look like a raccoon. I finally got that look down packed when I realized that I needed to go in with a gradient of browns and then put the black just on the lid. But once I got it down packed, you couldn't tell me nothing. The next question, the makeup technique that you struggle with today and want to improve. So for me, I feel as though I've mastered a lot in the makeup artistry realm, and it's not a lot that I struggle with per se, but I would like to be a little bit stronger in one look in particular, and that is when people have like the double cut crease with the line in the negative space. I want to be able to do that look and do it so clean that it looks like I had a stencil to do it and not take 4 hours to do that look. So that's something that I look at people on the internet and I see it and I'm like, dang, that looks good. I want to be able to do that on my eye shape and have it look sharp. Next, what is a beauty product that you thought you'd never buy but now own? So that product for me is actually a brush, and that is the Tom Ford bronzer brush. And now I have 2 of them. And these are the natural hair bronzer brushes from Tom Ford. And honestly, when I saw these for the first time, I pined over these brushes and I was so obsessed with them. But I just knew there was no way I could spend over $100 on a brush, especially back when I first heard about these brushes. That was unheard of, like over $100 on a brush. But as I dived a little bit deeper into the luxury makeup realm, $100+ for a brush just started to sound less and less unreasonable to me. And so now I own all of the brushes from Tom Ford and plus other brushes that cost more. And you know, I just never thought that I would get to that point in my makeup journey that I would spend so much on brushes. But honestly, brushes are one of the best part of my makeup collection in my opinion, and I pride myself on my brush collection, and I enjoy investing money into my brush collection, and I feel like it really changed the way that I apply makeup. And so I'm glad that I made that first step into the luxury brush realm, and this one was the first one that I absolutely knew I had to have, and from there it's just been a slippery slope, honey. Next question. What beauty trends do you regret following? It's so many. It's so many. Where do I start? So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a backstory. So I started getting into makeup as a child, okay? So I've participated in so many trends that I had no business participating in, and I'm not ashamed of it. It's a part of my growth. It is a part of my story. And the first one is wearing light pink lipstick with everything with no lip liner. Again, that goes back to my Saint Germain that I was telling you about that I was obsessed with. And to be honest, it was a time where that look was very heavily acceptable. It was cute. Everybody did it, and so I did it too. And I thought I was cute with my light pink lips. I mean, I have image after image after image that I have on a light pink lip for no reason. It's like, sis. Next is full coverage everything. And by full coverage everything, I mean full coverage foundation, full coverage concealer, full coverage powder. I mean, skin can't breathe for anything. My skin probably felt like so when I finally stopped wearing all that full coverage makeup, my skin got better. Never needed full coverage makeup in the first place was the problem. But I liked the way that it looks. I liked the cake face look. And so I would slather on all this makeup and suffocate my skin, and I created a problem for my skin. So then I needed the full coverage makeup to make me feel pretty and, you know, have confidence and not feel ashamed of my skin. So then it was just this ongoing problem to where I finally said, I'm done. I'm not wearing all this dang old makeup all the time. So I'm glad that cycle got broken. And the last trend that I regret following is hands down that stupid light, like dumb light concealer that I used to wear underneath my eyes and was so serious about. So I would dead ass have on NW25, NW20 sometimes underneath my eyes to highlight. Baby, where's you going? The next question is, if I had to restart your beauty collection, what are some things that you would do differently? And definitely if I had to restart my collection, I would purchase products that worked for me and not focus so much on purchasing things for the hype. So I have so much makeup that I have never used, don't have any interest in using, but would just purchase it to have complete collections of stuff. Why? I would just buy things like I have yellow lipsticks, yellow lip glosses, bright blue blushes, like stuff that I'm never, and I do mean never, going to use. And I would try to say, you know what, I'm going to keep it for collector's purposes, and maybe one day I'll use it for an artistic purpose. So like if I wanted to do something very editorial, then I'll break it out. No, I think this question is so funny, and I am so excited to see what everybody shares for this one. So this question is, what is the worst makeup look that I have ever done? So there's so many, because you know every look that you do is not a hit, and you guys think that I just can pull out a look and just slay it, and I can now, but it took years to get to that point, and many unfortunate looks happened. And the look that stands out the most to me is the one that I wore out in public to my sister's 16th birthday party. And you know, the entire look was bad, from the hairstyle to the crusty eyeliner that was green and kind of blue, and it was black, and it was like, baby girl, no ma'am. And nobody told me it didn't look good. Actually, I had one person say, wow, your makeup looks really cool, very interesting, like it was a conversation piece or something. But that was a really bad look, and I really tried to do something, you know, theatrical and bold and just unique and edgy, and it just looked atrocious. On the opposite spectrum, the next question is, what is the best makeup look that I have ever done? And again, I have a few looks that just really stand out to me, and I love them a lot. And one of them is my smoky eye tutorial that I did, and that is when I really felt like I had the smoky eye like down pat to the point where I can do it with my eyes closed. And so I love that look because it's super sultry. And then the next favorite of mine is the cloudy blue eyeshadow tutorial look that I did using my Natasha Denona 28 pan blue green eyeshadow palette. I love that look. It's one of my favorites. I love how I have that blue gold shift on the lid, and I love my very nude lips, and I just felt like my skin looks clear, and I love that look. But my favorite makeup look is constantly changing. This week is definitely my power look that I did from the Colored Rain X Power collection, but I constantly try to challenge myself because I personally feel that I am my only competition, and so I just try to be better than the makeup artist that I was yesterday. And so I like to try different things and create different looks, and so that is my current favorite look. But next week it could be something totally different. And so the last question that I have is, what beauty advice would I give a beauty lover slash makeup artist slash beauty influencer? For the beauty lover slash makeup artist slash beauty influencers out there, my number one piece of advice would be to keep practicing. And you guys know there's so many resources out there now, from YouTube videos to so many different books and Instagram. It's just an abundance of information to help you grow, be it if you are a novice artist or if you have no desire to be a true makeup artist and work with other people, but to just be able to beat your own face. It's so much stuff out there to help you. So I would say just to practice, and even if you feel like you don't have time, to make the time and definitely do something different every single day, and don't get stuck in a rut. And that is as cliche as it gets, but it is the absolute truth. And definitely if you are aspiring to be a makeup artist or a beauty influencer, then you have another set of challenges, in that you are putting yourself out there on a platform. And so nowadays for makeup artists, you have to put yourself out there to be exposed, to be discovered, and to get new clientele. So for that, and for being a beauty influencer, you have to put yourself out there, and it can be very, very intimidating because you're pretty much exposing yourself and you are asking for the public's criticism. So I would say to you to develop a thick skin, because you don't necessarily have the luxury of practicing so much in private, because so much of of your growth is going to come from exposure. So I would say don't take things personally. If somebody has something to say, just take that, and if it is constructive, then apply it to what you are wanting to do. And if it is not constructive and it is destructive, then just ignore it and block. So that is what I have to say. That is the glow up and beauty tag. And again, I tag anybody who wants to do this video to do it. But more specifically, I have a little list of people that I tag. And I tag Michelle Wong to do it. I tag Tiff Jeff to do it. Andrea Renee, Kinky, Miss Sweat if you're nasty, The Fancy Face, Morgan Turner, and of course I tag Mel Thompson, but she's my best friend and I know she already did it, so I'm just saying it. But I tag anybody to do it, and I'm sorry if I missed anybody who watches my videos, who does videos, but I invite you all to do it. Make sure you let me know if you do it down in the comments section, and I'm going to come watch everybody's videos and laugh at what you have to say, because this is going to be a good one. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you have any tag videos that you want me to do, also let me know down in the comments section, and I will check you all in my very next video, which will be super soon. Smooches. Bye.